And today we'll be seeing a play about the life of Elias Boudinot, who was the first one to be on this property and built his home here. He built it as a summer home to get away from the war. He had a residence in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Unfortunately, or fortunately for us, the war followed him out here. And he was very much instrumental in things that went on. So without further ado, I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy Elias, a true story.
Jason! Jason Hood! How are you? It's good to see you again. This is my son, Johnny. Johnny, this is Lieutenant Jason Hood of Boston. We served together in the war.
Johnny, it's good to meet you. You look like a fine young man, just like your father. Billy, good to see you. 3 years and you haven't changed a bit.
Thanks, Jason. You look pretty good yourself.
Oh, thanks a lot. Are you still up to the same thing, still preaching?
That's right. I'm a pastor at a little church in Morristown, in North Jersey.
Morristown. I remember Morristown and Valley Forge. And before that, the British prison house in New York.
Yeah, those were some mean years, all right, but the final victory was worth all the hardship.
And here we are today with all the people that helped us achieve that victory. They're all here at the convention. Hamilton, General Washington, Knox, Boudinot.
We really get to see all of them?
You bet we will. There's General George Washington right now. Look, Johnny.
Say that. Who's that other man sitting next to the president?
That man, son, is Elias Boudinot.
Elias, who?
Boudinot, son. You mean to tell me you grew up in Jersey and you don't know who he is?
No, sir, I don't.
Your dad and I might not be alive today if it weren't for Elias Boudinot.
And thousands of others, too.
Why?
Well, when we were in the British prison camp, it was Elias Boudinot who made sure that we had some food and clothes.
General Washington and Boudinot actually put up the funds to do it. And there was a prison guard that was beating us. Elias Boudinot put a stop to that. And remember the prison doctor? He was trying to poison us. Elias Boudinot put a stop to that too.
Elias Boudinot is a great man.
You know, he gave the keynote speech today.
Oh, I'm sorry we missed it. What did he say?
Oh, it was a great speech. He said that the time would come in the future where millions of people would be all throughout these territories. And there'd be networks of trade and commerce stretching from the ocean all the way to the other.
Unbelievable.
And can you imagine? He said there'd be opportunities and equal rights for women and scientific achievements beyond our wildest dreams.
And what else?
Well, he also thanked God for those who gave their lives in the revolution to secure the blessings we enjoy today.
Hooray for Elias. Elias Boudinot. But if he's so important, why don't more people know about him?
Well, he wasn't much for being famous, but he was there to serve his country, full of courageous spirit and ready for anything. Why, I remember an incident he told us about in '73 when he was serving in the New Jersey Assembly. He went to a social at the home of Governor William Franklin in Ambler.
Elias, dear, you seem rather uncomfortable, not like your usual calm, quiet self.
My dear Hannah, it's hardly very comfortable to be the relaxed guest of a governor who so openly supports the British Parliament in spite of its oppression of the colonies.
I know, my dear, but you are here in an official capacity tonight, and it is not the place to stir things up. There are other members of the Assembly who feel as you do. Perhaps things may yet work out.
Things can hardly be expected to improve. What with the intolerable acts and now the Boston port closing.
I know, my dear. Let's just try to enjoy the evening. Oh, Susan, why don't you go over and join Helen while your father and I join the others?
Yes, Mother.
Oh, there's the governor now. My, but Governor Franklin certainly carries himself well.
You are such a kind soul, Hannah. May I be forgiven for such an uncharitable observation, but Benjamin Franklin can hardly be very proud of his pompous offspring.
Hush, dear. They're starting to serve refreshments.
Oh, I wonder what refreshments they'll have. I hope it's hot chocolate. That's my favorite. Mine too.
Ah!
Susan, what's the matter?
It's tea!
It's all right, Susan. I understand how you feel, but you shouldn't have.
But Father, it was tea. Why, no one else these days serves any tea.
I understand, Susan. But as guests of the governor, we must be courteous and discreet. Now, dry your eyes and return to your friends. I'll try to apologize to the governor. Come, Hannah. He's probably in the drawing room admiring his new portrait.
Yes, dear.
My goodness, Susan, what a thing to do. I thought the governor would come in here and order you to be hanged or flogged or put in the stocks.
Don't be silly. Anyway, it isn't nice to be serving tea when so many of the people are against it. My father says to be forced to pay high import taxes on such things when we don't have a say in our government is unfair.
Why, Susan, you're a rebel.
Yes, I am. And I don't care who knows it. You won't get any tea at our house. Not until we have a say in what tariffs there will be on the tea. As they say in Boston, no taxation without representation. Until then, I will have water.
That Susan Boudinot was really brave.
You had to be brave. There were many hard trials for all of us over the next 7 years.
In fact, it wasn't long before Mr. Boudinot was back in the thick of things as a colonel in the army.
And as for Governor William Franklin, why, he was placed under house arrest in Connecticut for stirring up the Loyalists.
In Connecticut, that's where it all started. Lexington and Concord. Mr. Boudinot was chairman of the Jersey Committee of Safety about a year after the tea incident, when word of the troubles in New England reached him.
It's so wonderful to spend a nice, quiet Sunday at home. There's a lovely walk from the church, and the service is such a comfort to me.
You will need a great deal of prayer in the days ahead. You must strive for fair representation in Parliament, relief from the crippling burden of taxes. Although the situation seems to be getting more and more hopeless, I fear we may be forced to the point of armed resistance. Yet I pray it may never come to that.
Elias, there's a man here to see you, a dispatch rider.
It must be important to disturb me on the Sabbath. Bid him come in at once.
Sir, I have an urgent message for you and all the members of the Committee of Correspondence. It comes from Waterton, by Worcester, through New London, New Haven, and Fairfield, and to be sent on to New Brunswick and on to Philadelphia. It reads, "To all friends of liberty, be it known that on Wednesday, April 19th, before the break of day, a brigade consisting of about 10 or 1,200 men landed at Phipps Farm at Cambridge and marched to Lexington, where they found a company of militiamen in arms, upon whom they fired without any provocation, killing 6 men and wounding 4 others."
Hannah, it's happened. Have the carriage brought around. I must ride to tell my neighboring patriots of the news. Come, tell me more as we go.
Well, son, that was only the beginning. They found out the very next day that the farmers of Concord ambushed some of those very same British regulars, and then the war was really on. And in the meantime, the new commander-in-chief, Colonel George Washington, was busy arranging the siege on Boston, and Elias Boudinot was becoming a very busy man.
Now then, sir, I trust you thought things through before coming to this conclusion.
Sir, you yourself have known of my sentiments toward the cause of liberty from the very beginning. I am prepared to devote myself wholly to the struggle.
One of the most promising lawyers in the land, straining to be off to Boston to join the fray. Very well, lad. You'll have your letter of introduction. In fact, knowing you were bound to have it so, I've already written it. To Joseph Reed, Military Secretary to General George Washington at Cambridge. Sir, this will serve to introduce you to a young man zealous to begin serving his land in whatever way the Commander-in-Chief feels he can best be used. I refer to the bearer, Mr. Alexander Hamilton. I am your most obedient servant, Elias Boudinot. There goes an excited young man riding off to battle. I wonder what the future holds for him.
Wow. Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton.
That's right, but what I remember most about the war was the winter of 77, 78 in Morristown.
Oh, who could forget such hardship, Jason? The weather was fiercely cold, more than 5 feet of snow, and there wasn't much food or clothing.
General Washington spread out the encampment over a large area to make it appear as if we had more men. Most men we had, about 3,000.
Only 3,000? What about the British?
Oh, General Howe had a lot more than 3,000, that's for sure.
Weren't you in any danger?
That's right, son, we were. In fact, we heard through Colonel Boudinot's intelligence department that the British were seriously considering launching an attack. They were using various methods of discovering our real strength, our lack of it.
What did you do?
Well, General Howe sent a merchant with a good reputation for good character to spy on the rebel encampment and determine the strength of Washington's army. Okay? He had heard that we had about 40,000 men, but he wasn't sure if it was true, so he got a merchant to determine what the true facts were. The merchant got himself invited to dinner. He dined with an American officer at the American headquarters. General Washington was ready for him.
I must say, you fellows fare quite well here in Morristown. That was a meal to be remembered, and I'm so glad to see the army in such prosperous condition.
I'm sure you found it a most welcome contrast to the treatment you say you received at the hands of the British in New York.
Oh, quite so indeed. The discomforts I suffered there at the hands of General Howe are better passed from memory. But I tell you, sir, such abuses put upon a prominent citizen such as myself are not readily forgotten.
And be comforted, sir. We here in Morristown can be counted on to treat you in just the way you deserve.
Thank you, sir. You're very kind.
Sir, His Excellency General Washington respectfully urges your immediate attendance.
Excuse me, sir. I shall be back in a moment.
Ah, here it is. A complete list of men and supplies up to date today. My 12,000 troops, battle ready. General Howe will be very interested.
Sorry to have kept you waiting. Can I send for some more refreshments?
No, I've had quite sufficient. If you don't mind, I would like to excuse myself. I have much to do to transfer my affairs to this area.
Ah. Thank you, sir.
Transferring his affairs, indeed. The rascal can't wait. You can be sure he'll head for General Howe's office straight away. Now we must trust to Providence, and the British will believe his information.
That was clever, Dad. Did General Howe believe the story?
That he did, son, and more than we could have hoped. In fact, Colonel Boudinot's agents heard that General Howe believed the merchant's story, in spite of reports he was getting from other spies of his own. And so he refused to launch his army against us. If he had, I doubt we'd be standing here today. So, once again, Elias saved the day!
Did Colonel Boudinot stay with the army, Dad?
Not for long. He was called by New Jersey to serve in Congress, and there he stayed, raising money for the troops, supporting General Washington, and keeping Congress unified toward ending the war.
After nearly a year of negotiations in London and Paris, a peace treaty was signed. An agreement was made, and a peace treaty was signed in 1783 by King George III of England, King Louis XVI of France, the King of Spain, and the President of the United States in Congress assembled, His Excellency Elias Boudinot.
Wow. Elias Boudinot did all that?
That's right.
And then when the fighting was over, General Washington went back to a nice, quiet life in Mount Vernon, or so he thought. But there was still much adventure ahead for him.
Yeah. The states were moving towards the formation of a federal government, and that would require a constitution.
And then, In 1787, things really started to take shape.
Was Elias Boudinot still around?
He was, Johnny, he was. And he was to be around for years to come and involved in affairs of government.
True. And when the convention for a new constitution was opening, he was in Philadelphia with some old friends.
Well, Mr. Hamilton, it's been a pleasant time renewing old friendships and talking over old times. Some of those old times to be well remembered, others perhaps better forgotten.
Yes, but all in all, a fine time. And we owe it all to Henry Knox. Our Secretary of War had an excellent idea to organize the Society of Veteran Officers of the Cincinnati.
You're right, Alex. Henry's idea was a good one.
These triennial reunions with former comrades-in-arms are most enjoyable. It is my sincere hope that our society conventions will be the most serious reason for which we are ever called together.
Amen. However, many of our friends will soon be gathering right here in Philadelphia for the express purpose of framing a constitution for these United States.
Yes, let us hope the result of their efforts is a solid instrument for the mutual benefit and protection of all.
Well, yes, and a constitution would be a great first step towards your admirable desire for an effective federal government.
It would be my expectation that the people of this great new land will wish to have that government headed by our first citizen, General George Washington, as their first president of these United States.
I think that prediction will prove to be an accurate one, Alex. Now, if we can just get that constitution.
Do we really need a strong constitution?
We do indeed.
Yeah. The separate states were doing just fine with their own governments, but the time would come where they would do much, much better under a federal government. There are many problems that states don't handle as well as a central government might handle. I mean, think of all of the people that have come, and the newcomers still coming, and the territories to be found, and the new states.
I guess in that case, we surely do need a strong constitution.
That's right, Johnny. A very strong constitution. We want a United States where people of every race and creed can find a place in the home of the free.
That was a big year for our country, 1787. And yes, it was a big year for Elias and Hannah too. After we made the Constitution, it was their 25th anniversary. And being in Philadelphia instead of home in Elizabethtown, they had to be content to dine in that same dining room in the Grey Goose Tavern. But it was a very happy occasion.
My dear Hannah, it would have been so wonderful to be able to spend our anniversary at home amongst friends and family. But because of my responsibilities here, you must be forced to endure.
Gosh, dear. You know, I am perfectly contented just to be here with you.
You always have been very easy to please, Hannah. Still, it would have been nice to go visit that old place you enjoyed so much in Baskin Ridge.
I know, my dear. But when I think of all those long times of hard separation during the war, how painful they were, I'm just grateful for all the things that God has given us. Our dear daughter, our wonderful friends, and all the beautiful things you've been able to give me.
I know, my dear. Sometimes I wish we had more time together to be able to enjoy those blessings.
Perhaps we yet shall, Elias. Although I know you will be called on many more occasions to serve your country in some way or another. For it seems as if you thrive on the vigorous activity of public service. And nothing gives me greater contentment than to see you happily serving your fellow man.
Dear Hannah, someday soon I must write down the things in my heart to tell you what your devotion means to me. Although I doubt I could ever express in mere words the feelings I have for you in my heart.
Gracious Elias, you make me feel like a young girl again.
Dear friends, many happy returns on your anniversary.
Thank you, Alexander. We have been blessed with many long years together.
And how those years have flown. I remember remember, it was close to your 10th anniversary when I arrived bringing a letter of introduction from the islands. How eventful our lives have been since then. Speaking of events, I'm anxious to know how the Constitutional Convention is proceeding. If you'll excuse me, I'll be off. Congratulations again.
Thank you again for your well wishes. Elias, dear, how do you think the convention is doing?
Just fine, my dear, just fine. I'm sure the deliberations will result in the perfect union of the states.
You're right, you're so right. It will be a perfect union, just like ours.
To us, my dear. You know, my dear, after all these years, I'm really starting to like chocolate.
1787, the Constitution they spoke about became an established fact.
In 1789, the states ratified it, and of course, just as predicted, George Washington became our first president. Elias was back in Congress, this time as a New Jersey member of the House of Representatives. He made his presence known there too by persuading the House to recommend that the president proclaim a national holiday of Thanksgiving, the very first one.
In 1790, the House was concerned about ways and means of raising a standing army for defense. Elias suggested an idea of a recruit's choice, which he called selective service. But Congress didn't like the idea, so it didn't pass.
In 1795, after serving 2 terms in the House, Elias was appointed director of the United States Mint in Philadelphia.
In 1796, Elias wrote The Age of Revelation in response to Thomas Paine's The Age of Reason. It was a favorably received publication, but did not receive the widespread distribution that Paine's pamphlet enjoyed.
In 1816, Elias was named president of the American Bible Society and immediately began raising funds to send Bibles to the American frontier.
In 1818, Elias Boudinot informally adopted the son of the chief in a Cherokee nation in Georgia. The young man's name was Galagina. He took on the name Elias Boudinot.
In 1821, Elias Boudinot died on October 1st at the age of 81. Few men had the importance and impact on the events of their time.
Lawyer, statesman, Christian. He was one of the most remarkable men of the Revolutionary period. A lawyer before the Supreme Court, a statesman with vision as well as confidence, a trustee of the College of New Jersey in Princeton, and he was awarded a doctorate from Yale University. All this without ever having spent a single day as a college student.
His convictions as a patriot made him comrade and friend to the greatest men in America. His courage won him the lifelong respect of General Washington. His dedication to his country's service brought him to the office of the President of the United States in Congress assembled, there to sign his name on a treaty of peace alongside of 3 of the world's most powerful kings.
He spoke of the future with quiet conviction. He believed in the importance of a strong constitution to allow for the growth of commerce, the importance of unity as protection against foreign invasion. He talked about women's equality and scientific achievement.
His love for his fellow man was manifested in his great concern for Native American tribes and for enslaved people. This concern was demonstrated by generous donations and by his efforts on their behalf while he served in the House of Representatives.
He suffered for all the people of this land, who, while many of them had all the opportunities for fortune before them, were misguided spiritually, creating the American Bible Society to bring Bibles all the way to the frontiers of America.
A man of quiet conviction, cheerful, devoted to his wife and family, he never sought the limelight. He always gave credit to others while making sure that the job got done.
Elias had a genuine American dream. He had a vision of a great nation of people whose quality of life would be an honor to their country and to their maker. He saw that dream take shape in his lifetime. Our government The quality of life that we have today is a testimony to his life's work and achievement.
Thanks, Elias.
Thank you for attending our play. This was originally written for the bicentennial, and it was a full-length musical. And we have resurrected one little bit ditty, and we would like to teach you. So we're going to sing it for you once, and then we'll give you a chance to sing along with them. Ready?
Good old Elias, he really saved the day. For good old Elias, we all can shout hooray! Though others were more famous, you really cannot blame us for loving our Elias, Elias Boudinot.
So here we go. Are you ready? I expect everyone to really give us their all on the one word that we should all know. Ready?
Good old Elias, he really saved the day. For good old Elias, we all can shout hooray! Though others were more famous, you really cannot blame us for loving our Elias, Elias Boudinot.